Sebastian. Did you know the sand is the most consumed raw material? And right now in the 21st century, we're about to hit a shortage. I
Oh,
felt like, yeah, most,
there's a
most people,
limited supply of sand everywhere in the world because it's served for the silicium on all the electronics, right? Everywhere. That's
exactly.
well, that's a funny coincidence. There's only 3 billion sand as well in the metaverse to be used, and so we are replicating that shortage somehow.
That's exactly what I thought when I was preparing for this interview because it was so timely. And then you're also as a sand token, so it's almost the same concept. There's a limited amount. It's going to become more and more demand because yeah, your platform is blowing up and getting a lot of publicity.
I think one difference though, like instead of being transformed and lost as sand actually goes 100% into the end of the user. So till the very end, the sandbox will become a fully decentralized platform where all the sand will be owned by the community instead. So it's a much better, much more positive perspective in a way.
I like that. So I do want to dive into what's coming up tomorrow because we want to get this content out and just get publicity to the sandbox. You have a big land sale. Tell me more about that.
Absolutely. So we just announced last Friday that we have several strategic Silicon Valley gaming and tech innovators that's been joining the Sandbox virtual world. They've been acquiring land. They have projects to build games and experience on those lands. Among them, we have the Winklevoss twins, Tyler and Cameron from Gemini Capital.
Yep.
We do have Bill Lee, co-founder of Craft Venture, Ken Howery, the co-founder of PayPal and Founders Fund, Sandeep Madra, who is at 4X, Galaxy Interactive, so a lot of very exciting names from the tech side, but also from the entertainment side with Avenged Sevenfold, which is a heavy metal rock band making a splash into our virtual world. And we are releasing this new wave of land sales that starts tomorrow, Wednesday, April 14th at 1 p.m. UTC, where users will be able to buy 1,874 premium land surrounding these major innovators and brands. Those are premium lands which include free NFT each, free exclusive NFTs that reflect and have a use case in our gaming virtual world and with our no-code game maker, game entity, an equipment, and an art piece. Each land has different sets, so you can create a large collection. There will be as well a certain number, 19, if I'm correct, estates that will be on auction on OpenSea for the largest plot of lands, starting with a 6x6 estate of 36 land up to 12x12.
Wow, this is huge, and you're saying it's located adjacent to a lot of these big popular spots of land.
Exactly. It's going to become a very interesting neighborhood once the metaverse is going to open to the public. Creator here can start building game experience that will be just a walkthrough for the player's avatar from these big spots that combines like gaming, music, entertainment, and other things, a wide project that the platform allows to. And it's located right below CoinMarketCap and right above Roller Coaster Tycoon as well. So it's definitely an area on the side of the map that I like a lot, has a lot of potential behind of what will be coming up in our virtual world.
I love that. So actually onto that point, with the advent of the metaverse, traditional real estate, everyone says it's location, location, location. But this also applies to the metaverse if you have a walkthrough experience, because as you're going to, let's say, influencer's house or roller coaster tycoon, you're going to see these adjacent plots of land. And that's, when it comes to exposure, I almost think of it like a digital billboard or being next to a very famous person's house. The opportunity is massive.
This indeed the location, but not only location, like it's all about the strategy that those brands and you as a creator are putting. Like Sandbox, it's a new platform that essentially allows anyone to have their presence in the metaverse. When you join a new platform, what do? Do you just post once and be gone? Or are you going to have like a constant content strategy that will engage with the audience based on what they are waiting for and deliver new value to them? That value is actually in the form of NFTs. You're connecting closer to the community of fans, of creators, artists, players in our virtual world. You're offering them something of value on your land. You're contributing with all the others to grow the overall value of that land. And all together, we're creating something that benefits in terms of reward all the users of the platform. That's my vision. That's our vision for a real decentralized virtual world.
Sebastien, you're a very accomplished entrepreneur. I'm very curious as an entrepreneur myself, what got you into and what made you start Sandbox? Because I know you've had many other ventures in the past. Why Sandbox now?
Well, Sandbox is actually, I would say, it's kind of like our child. It's been 10 years, a decade already. We started Sandbox as a mobile game in 2011. It's been growing into a large success, up to 40 million installs, millions of creators that shared creation. So that was really, we tapped into that promise to turn any players into a creator. But where I think we haven't been really successful at is rewarding the creator for their contribution. In a way, like 70 million creation been made, and literally users who contributed to all that content had zero revenue or reward for that, except even if they contributed to the success of the mobile version. So, and when
it's a good way of giving back,
here,
right?
It's a good way of giving back. It's a good way to bring the potential of the technology, blockchain, NFTs. When we saw NFTs and we see, instead of like applying it to virtual cats or virtual punks, which is cool, but say what the best idea would be like combining it with user generated content and allow anyone to make their NFTs. And that would be the kickstart of a digital economy. At the moment where you can make your own NFT, you can use that as, and they have value based thanks to the blockchain, the scarcity, the proof of ownership, and all the benefits we know, including the utility into our metaverse. You establish the ground for an economy of service, of content in the virtual world, and you enable those creators not only to be rewarded and giving back then, but you now make a real impact in many people's life, like creator artists who are selling their content on the marketplace, who are preparing those games supported by our foundation. A lot of them can testimony on social media how earning Sand and that first step into NFT has been profoundly transforming the way they approach the metaverse, changing on a daily basis what they earn, the fact that they might have lost jobs during pandemic and now they are here creating content for this virtual world as artist, architect, as game creator. It's the way it's mind-blowing, and it's going to accelerate only with this new generation that's, frankly speaking, digitally native, not attached to physical good, are enjoying and understanding the value of wearables or object collectible as NFTs, and that's very exciting for the future.
I love it, but also, and you're painting a very future perspective on the metaverse. I've actually been talking to a lot of projects. Yield Guild Games is one where they're actually helping people find income. Like you said, during COVID, a lot of people lost their jobs, but with the idea of an NFT and you can share revenues with, these players, is they can actually earn income. And so they're enjoying themselves, but they're actually getting rewarded, and it can offset some of their expenses. And in many countries, it could be life-changing revenue.
It can, and I think it's what Yield Guild Gaming is doing is great. It's a great demonstration for players together, joining forces, earning more, sharing the profit of their work, so they are like evening out as well the balance of skills into games. They are sharing knowledge. They are part of a community and using their time in a more fun, probably much more fun way to earn than traditional jobs. And it's great. And this is just one first overview or taste of what play to earn is going to be. As I was alluding, I think creating content, selling services, designing fashion for avatars, there will be a lot of other jobs that will come and that will be enabled into this play to earn paradigm.
I love how Sandbox has a no code perspective, because a lot of these people just getting in, they're not coders, they're gamers, but they've grown up with games, but they want to go a step further and become a little more creative. So Sandbox allows them to do this, which is fascinating to me, because it almost looks like Minecraft in a way, but like, the everyday gamer can create very unique, unique things for their avatars, for their properties, for their land.
Exactly. Well, our audience is mostly adult right now, so definitely not looking at kids. I would say we're more like the adult Roblox, but to that different that the game maker is really no code, no programming knowledge. So everyone can start, try out, create a game, create an experience, and enjoy the feeling of playing with the content they create. And when you're an adult, it's sometimes harder to change your habits or to discover new skills, etc. We made it here accessible to anyone. Whereas when you look at even at Minecraft or Roblox, you have to learn a new programming knowledge, a lot of new tools. It's quite difficult. I find the barrier to entry still very high there.
So I've come in wrapping up to our few final questions, but as we interview more and more projects, to really courting the creators and the artists. I know you mentioned it earlier, but what is the big benefits to creators using the Sandbox platform?
Well, I think one of the main benefits is really to see how the content you create is actually taking life, is actually interactive, can be played, can be worn by avatars, so player, can be used by game creators to build more stories, more adventure, more games, more experience in ways that you yourself as the creator of that initial content didn't even imagine was possible. That's all the beauty of UGC. And I think that's one step further than just creating art or a collectible that's it's nice to see, as great aesthetic, as great scarcity potentially that justify a value, but by itself is just going to sit in a collection. You don't really see how it's become interactive with the audience. So I do think gaming NFTs more specifically through that have the most potential in the future of like the NFT space.
I like that. Usable NFTs that you can even display on your property and play with. Awesome. So Sebastien, my last question that all of our community always asks is, I know you're really involved in your own project, but as a founder, I'm sure you're looking at other projects and maybe even personally investing. So not as an investor advice or financial advice, but what are those exciting projects that you're watching potentially, investing in, and then you see almost as the future for NFTs, of course, besides Sandbox?
Well, as you might know, I'm also the president of the Blockchain Game Alliance myself. So yep. I'm here representing more than 200 companies as well, which are all pushing toward adoption, showcasing their work. We run live demos of the progress. And I'm very excited by everything I'm seeing into diverse space, whether it's a DeFi gaming, whether those are software solutions to facilitate onboarding of developers, whether they are like new DAOs and like yield guild gamings and many other that are diving into NFT space for players, for investors, for collectors, etc. So just that position, seeing what's happening in the space from the Blockchain Game Alliance perspective is great, and it's, I think, one of the best way for those of you who are not yet too familiar or where to start in the space to get exposed to some of the best projects that are happening. You can see the new members joining every month. You can see the product demo. You can see the founders speak and present. I find it's great.
What are your favorite ones so far?
Well, I'm a huge NFT collector myself. I'm playing many games, so without any surprise, I'll mention Axie Infinity, Yield Guild Gaming, the new Bitsky Art Marketplace, Nifty Gateway, yep. Rarible, recently My Neighbor Alice, Alien Worlds, which have been coming up and it's growing really fast in the space of DeFi gaming. There's a lot of cool stuff that once you start to just bridge that little friction to understand what the technology enable, after you can dive in it, and it's a very powerful opener in terms of what does it mean to own your asset, to own not only cryptocurrencies that can be worth millions of dollars, but worth digital assets that hold millions of dollars of value somehow.
It's fascinating. The last point I wanted to make is how easy it is to start an account with Sandbox. It's literally just one click, integrate with your MetaMasks, Binance, socials. But I feel like that's one of the things that a lot of blockchain projects are lacking is just the ease of onboarding and getting into the system right away. And at Sandbox, you've done, I haven't seen an easier one yet.
Thank you. It's thanks to some of our partners, Bitsky and Arcane Wallet, that have enabled us to grow up to 200,000 user accounts already connected with a wallet. That's just the beginning.
Awesome. Well, Sebastien, it was so great to chat with you. Thank you for taking time in your busy day. You are absolutely a thought leader. And I have a lot to learn from you and excited to see where Sandbox and all your endeavors are going to go in the future.
Thank you, Ivan. It's been a pleasure. I'm glad we've had this conversation, and I'm looking forward to the result of tomorrow's sale.
Thank you so much, Sebastien. Have a good one and good luck.